Very much for staying with us. You're watching Politics Tonight, and tonight we're discussing the battle for presiding officers jumps of the 10th National Assembly with a member of the House of Representatives representing Just South, Just East Federal Constituency, Honorable Dachung Musa Bagos. All right, Honorable Bagos, now let me ask you directly. You know, we've seen some aspirants who have refused to drop their bids for various positions. Now, is it right to go against one's party? And is zoning bad?
That what? Please, you have to pardon me that I will need to ask you to repeat that question.
We have seen some aspirants who have refused to drop their bids for various positions. So I'm asking you directly, is it right to go against one's party? And is zoning bad?
Well, I know that loyalty is very important in terms of party supremacy, and as politicians, we usually say that party is supreme. But the truth of the matter here is that in everything we do as politicians, interests come first. Be it the interest of your people, be it your personal interest, but most importantly, the interest of your people should be able to drive your personal interest. Then that of your party, the ideology of your party should be able to drive the interests of your people and your personal interest. So the conflict of interest between your personal interest, the interests of your people, and the ideology of your party, it's what should be able to drive whatsoever decision any politician takes at the end of the day. So if a politician did not follow what his party says, meaning maybe his personal interests and the ideology of the party and the interests of his people did not tally together. So, but that doesn't mean that the person is not a party person, but it means that give and take needs to come into a certain level in understanding which interests takes it takes superior over another interest. So these are issues that we usually look among ourselves as politicians. Not that you are rebelling, but what is the interest of your people? Like the presiding officers, you can find the presiding officers agitating according to zones. People from North Central are saying that, well, North Central, we have never produced a speaker. And so it is not about the individual, but it's about the interests of the people. You will now find out that they are talking about Northwest. Northwest, you have done speakers severally, but it is not about the interests of the people, but the interests of that very zone. You can now see that the Southeast is talking about agitation that we have never done this. It is the interest of the people in that. So it is now left for one, the party to look at the interests of the people first of all. And we as representatives will now look at what is the tendency of the House, how the sacredness of the House, understanding our ideology, keeping to the mandate that the people represent us to ensure that, look, we give people the dividends of democracy. So when we look at all this, we'll now come to a certain conclusion on a way forward. But then, having at the end of the day, because the party says that this is their own direction according to their own understanding, doesn't mean that everybody should just fall in line. Before everybody will fall in line, we need to look at your own interests, the interests of your people, the interests of your personal interests. When these two together, when you now talk to your people and you come together, so it's very possible that at the end of the day, when everybody collectively, you might be surprised at the end of the day that they all go to the interests of the party. You might be surprised that they all go to the interest of a certain zone, or so on and so forth.
So with all of this important point you have raised, how do you think the APC should have handled this to avoid this disagreement with aspirants?
You know, to me, in looking at what the APC did, they did not carry out proper consultation and not minding the numbers of the opposition, not again taking the interests of every zone. There could have been proper consultation before any other announcement by any, for zoning, any other political, whatsoever interest they might have had. Well, we don't know the criteria they had used, but the tension we are having at the moment sincerely could have been avoided. All the aspirants that are agitating, if they were brought to the table, I believe that all interests could have been brought together to understand that, look, this is the direction or this is what we feel. Give and take will come into place. Whosoever in negotiation, at the end of the day, you might not be able to have your own way all, but at least your input should be able to consider. So where I see the APC, why they are having this high level of agitation is that not high consultation, wide consultation was not done and carried out by the party. And so that's why we from the opposition said, look, a party that has a different ideology cannot just come and impose something on us on their own ideology. So with what they have been able to do, our members will be able to determine that, look, can we go this way or we are going a different way? So these are issues that we are all looking at. But at the end of the day, we want to believe that the 10th National Assembly will succeed.
So that takes me to my next question. You know, some of the lawmakers have argued that the APC cannot impose leaders on the National Assembly. I'd like to know how the opposition lawmakers are reacting to this.
Well, you had seen and followed our reaction in the time past. That, look, we were going to contest. But like I said again, as of yesterday night, the closing date for the nomination, none of the opposition members came out to indicate interest to contest for any other project. So we have moved into Plan B to look at the various candidates among the ruling party who has the same ideology with us, who at the end of the day will be able to key into the interests of our own people, and again, who will be able to keep to the tenacity of the House. So these are issues that we are going to, we have started screening after the closing of nomination yesterday. Each and every one of them must open a channel of communication, a channel of discussion to be able to know what truly you have for the Nigerian people through its representative. What truly do you have to ensure that the name rubber stamp is not being stamped on us, that we are rubber stamp. We'll be able to guide the whatsoever will be able to be done on the floor, that at the end of the day, our people will be comfortable with our decision. And again, whatsoever decision that we will come to a conclusion at the end of the day, our people should know. Wide consultation will be carried out. Not that we will just come out and announce that, look, the minority caucus is endorsing a candidate without consultation. So with this consultation, in the next few 24 to 48 hours, Nigerians will know where the minority caucus will stand. There are other fora within the minority caucus, but the minority caucus have not yet spoken officially. So any voice that you might be able to hear at the end of the day from any of the minority interests, I said minority interests, is not the official voice of the minority caucus. The minority caucus will speak at the end of the day, knowing very well that we have done wide consultation with our members, with our leaders, to be able to understand that this is the direction.
So, okay, let me ask this now. Because this is the first time opposition parties won more seats in the House of Representatives than the ruling party, is this an opportunity for opposition lawmakers to produce the speaker? And is this the year it will happen? Honorable Bagos, if you can hear me. All right. We've been speaking with a member of the House of Representatives representing just South, just East Federal Constituency, Honorable Dachung Musa Bagos, for discussion on the battle for presiding officer's job of the 10th National Assembly. And tonight we've discussed a lot, looking at this from different perspectives. So once again, I asked, this is the first time opposition parties have won more seats in the House of Reps than the ruling party. Is this an opportunity for opposition lawmakers to produce the speaker? And is this the year that will happen?
Yeah, well, the opposition has always been part of producing the leadership of any National Assembly with whatsoever numbers that is being needed. But again, knowing that you must be able to get the required numbers from the simple majority if there are two people that are contesting. So with the numbers that we have, yes, we should be able to determine who becomes the Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives, be it from the APC. But as it stands from today, officially, and as the spokesperson of the minority caucus, as it stands today, no minority caucus member is contesting for the speakership and the deputy speakership of the House of Representatives because none of our members came out to show interest. But then we will still be part of who become the Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives in terms of screening, in terms of looking at all the members that have come out to contest. And at the end of the day, Nigerians will know who the 10th House of Representatives will be supporting for the speakership.
All right. All right, then. So, again, some analysts are of the view that the race for the Senate presidency is less rancorous than the Speaker of House of Reps. Why is this?
Well, you can't compare 360 against 109. And you can't compare, again, people that have seen it all in thoughts and understanding and maturity to be able to, with us, that we are still seeing vision to understand, and, you know, we are still with our hot blood to ensure that our people get the right thing. So, knowing very, very well that, look, we are leaders of tomorrow. We need to bring everything on the table, not like the Senate. The Senate is the House of Elders that they have already arranged and understood what they want. But then anything that has to do with the National Assembly, 24 hours to election is like 1 year. So whatsoever dynamics you might see now, on the floor, on the day of election, you will be surprised and shocked to hear that maybe a different thing has happened. The dynamics can change. A lot of things can come into place. But for us to come together is very key.
Will it be right to say the House of Representatives has a rebellious character?
No, not at all. Not at all. The House of Representatives does not have a rebellious character, but the House of Representatives has a high level of young men and women that really have the interests of Nigerians at heart. And every decision, every resolution that a member of the House of Representatives will take, we don't look at 4 years. We look at how will our children and great-grandchildren benefit from the laws that we will make within 4 years. So if so be, which means we need to interrogate, we need to investigate, we need to consult, and at the same time, we need to agree. Because every decision we take now affects Nigeria in the next 50 years. So it's not about rebellion, it's not about any personal interest of agitation, but it's about the betterment of the future Nigeria that we all desire it to be.
All right, so quickly, what do you think the president-elect should do to douse the tension?
Well, one thing that the president-elect needs to really do at this point is, to me, I will say pray, because it has never been that the three arms of government, the president-elect has his own different role for the executive. But for the legislature, the president-elect has no role. The only role that a president has or a president-elect has on the National Assembly is proclamation of the National Assembly according to the Constitution. Once the National Assembly is being proclaimed, the issue and the running of the National Assembly entirely belongs to the members. So for a president to teleguide the National Assembly, that will not work or happen at any point in time. But whatsoever the party wants to do to advise and to guide as they want to do, it's quite different. But to dictate on what happens in the National Assembly, it's going to be very difficult for any president. Since 1999, it has been there. The records are there, issues are there. But to me, the president-elect should be able to see how he network with the National Assembly to ensure that his manifesto, or so it be, that he has for the Nigerian people come into play. If not, to teleguide the National Assembly is going to be very difficult for any president.
All right, thank you very much. I've been speaking with a member of the House of Representatives representing Just South, Just East Federal Constituency, Honorable Dachung Musa Bagos, tonight to discuss the battle for presiding officers' jobs of the 10th National Assembly. Thank you very much for coming. I mean, it's always a pleasure speaking with you on national issues. Thank you very much, Honorable Bagos. Thank you so much.